into today's most hot business topics and giving you a personal inside look at us as entrepreneurs building the businesses that we are respectively building. Now, this episode, I kind of want to be more about like shaping the future because if you could tell by the title, it's Trump's economy that we're coming into. You dig what I'm saying? So, regardless of if you like that he's there or not, you should know exactly
You
what you're
don't got
doing
a
and how
choice.
to move,
You don't got a
how to
choice.
move through,
Yeah.
uh, you know, these new regulations. Because, well, I mean, less regulation really is what we're most likely going to get with Trump in place. But we're also going to be talking about some key things like AI trends, some new ways to get some money this year that you might not be thinking about. So if you like all of that kind of stuff, then make sure you stay tuned. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and hit that little bell icon so you get notified when we go live and we drop more videos. How you doing, Kim?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Can't complain. Can't complain, man. Just grinding in these trenches, bro. Trying
Yeah.
to get this money.
Um, so I actually we're gonna swing back around we're gonna switch it up for this episode. We're gonna swing back around and talk about our businesses towards the end and do some of the more like breaking updates at the front end of it. So I want to talk a bit again about AI. Like we hit on it a little bit in the last episode, but like I
Yeah.
really want to keep pressing it into the audience that like using AI to grow your business and to get better at this whole being an entrepreneur thing is
Yeah.
like it's been one of the key things for me to like be able to have a system set up as well as I do. I literally while I was working a 9 to 5 job, right? I asked ChatGPT. I said, I have these hours specifically, and I have this time to be on my phone specifically. What's the best usage? What's the best things I can be doing with my time, my little free time at my 9 to 5, so I can be growing my business? Gave me a
Bro.
checklist in 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Quick.
Little things like that, kind of automating your life a little bit
Yeah.
is going to help you build the consistency it takes to really, really grind through the early stages of being an entrepreneur.
And if you don't, even if you know, don't want to be an entrepreneur, I mean, you can just, I mean, AI is making grocery lists for you. It's telling you when the best times to get your bills paid based upon the time you get your checks. Like, there's so many things that you can just use your AI for just on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of people are going to say, like, I don't want to get all advanced with the technology and all this stuff, but it's already here. So, I mean, like you
It's
said,
already
if you don't like Trump's economy, he's going to be the president no matter if you like it or not. If you don't like AI, it's going to be part of your life no matter if you like it or not. So you might as well just get used to it and figure it out and learn it because you might as well grow with it instead of grow against it. Because I promise you, you're not going to win the battle of trying to grow against it. You're not going to
no.
win that battle. So
Going
just go ahead
against
and
progress is progress always wins.
yeah,
Progress always wins.
yeah,
Like one of the main points of moving forward in the new economy is the the gig economy is kind of taking over. You know what I'm saying? Like uh, people are more people today are working less 9 to 5 jobs than they were 10 years ago, and it's a very significant number. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head right
yeah,
now, but it's a pretty significant number.
yeah,
So like
and
when it comes to adapting to that, you got to switch it up, try some new things. Me,
yeah,
I decided to get into e-commerce because there's kind of like an e-commerce revolution going on, and I'm selling a course because I have a skill that I built up over time, and I'm able to provide that value to other people. So in this next 4 years that we're going into, it's really key to start looking for those little things that you could put in your just in your pocket as a whether it be a side hustle or replacing your whole 9 to 5, but providing value as a core base is where you're going to be able to beat inflation and being broke and not staying in the middle class or really not getting squeezed out of the middle class because the middle class is getting squeezed. You know what I'm saying? Like the
yeah,
rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and the middle class is getting squeezed and bled to both sides. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
No
right
gray
now
area.
is the best time in any. If you know how to do a skill, make an online course. If you don't know how to make an online course, ask an AI and it'll tell you every step along the way on how to do it, how to make it, how to post it, how to structure it,
Yeah.
whatever.
And if you don't even know a skill, say you don't have no skills, which It's hard to believe that you have no skill. But say you have no skills, right? Some people don't have nothing. They don't know anything. You could always learn something. There's YouTube. There's a course you can buy. You want to know how to trade? We got a course for you, right? There's so many different things that you can
Right
do,
here. Like, link
right?
in the description.
So if even if you don't learn it, you know, you might as well start today, right? Why put off something that you can start today when you can just do it right now? You don't want to start tomorrow. Just go ahead and start right now, just because if you look at how the wages have been presented in the world, like the wage increase versus the inflation increase, it's not adding up, right? It's
Right.
not
We're
not
not
even a little.
keeping up. Like, jobs aren't paying enough to keep up with the economy for the
Yeah,
regular everyday person. You know
not
what I
even
mean?
close. So if you want to get ahead in life, right, you're gonna have to figure out a skill. And one of my favorite skills, there's two skills that I think that somebody can take that's easy to learn and that you can do anywhere, anytime, any country, anywhere is trading with either forex, stock markets, currencies, whatever you want to do, Bitcoin, or learning how to sell. Right? Those
Sell,
are
sell,
two
sell.
things that you can do anywhere. Right now, maybe if you don't speak the language, that might be a little bit difficult. Right? But any company will hire you as a salesperson. You can trade in any country. You just need a cell phone and the internet, and you can trade whatever you want to trade. Those are two skills that also cost zero. You
No
don't need any.
dollars. No dollars.
You don't need no startup capital.
No dollars.
Now, will money help with those things? Of course, right? If you had a couple $100, $1,000 to put into a trading account, that would boost it up. But you can start a trading account with one penny, and you can go that one penny into millions of dollars if you really put the time and effort into it, right? So
One penny is a slight exaggeration. You need at
it's
least
like
like 50
exaggeration. You need a
cents.
little
You
bit more
need
than
like at
that,
least like
but you don't
50
need a
cents.
lot.
50 cents with the highest leverage, most unregulated broker out there possible. Like, with 50 cents though, if you buy our trading course, you can definitely like actually turn it into an entire lifestyle. I've watched some of my students take my advice and literally turn it into an entire lifestyle, and be able to provide for their family, pay off their house, pay off their car. Like, those things are really minuscule, that we spend so much time, we're taught to spend so much time on, so much energy on, when in reality, if you just learn a skill, you become a skill worker. All that's kind of niched out. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, our entrepreneurship is, of course, a great way to go, but like Kem said, trading or just selling somebody else's, with a system that somebody else has already built up, being able to sell that system, can bring you that same um profit margin, that
And I
same
was gonna
value.
put something out there. I just had a friend of mine who was working at a job, sales job for 2 years, first job out of college, right? Did it for 2 years. He just got a job that's going to pay him a base salary of $150,000 as his base,
That's legit.
plus commissions, and he has to bring no money. He doesn't have to have no money to the table. All he's doing is selling what they've already been selling, right? The blueprint's already there. He don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's already the customer basis. He has to go and find the customers, and they're paying him 150K to just starting off. You ain't gotta even sell nothing. You just gonna make that just off of just walking in the door
Just
every day,
being there.
just being there, just
Today
showing up with a
was some
smile on your face. You get
OTK.
150K,
Yeah.
right? And that's a skill set that where people pay big money for somebody to learn the skill to be able to help somebody or persuade somebody to get a product. So, you know, just
Definitely,
fruitful
definitely one
thought.
of the easier ways. Like, the factory school system teaches you how to do so much, but not how to free yourself from a time perspective. So and, and I want to leave you from this before we go to this next segment. I want to leave you off with, don't stop learning. It doesn't matter how much money you start making or how successful you feel. Don't stop learning, because the world won't stop learning. You don't understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You got to keep up in that respect. Now, with moving on to where this Trump economy, there's a lot of we're gonna get into a few things over the next couple of episodes that really affect each and every one of you, like on the day to day basis. But just to let everybody know, because not a lot of people know about all the tax incentives that are already there in place, and there's going to be more put in place. There's things you can take advantage of. If you're married, every kid you have past, I believe, 2 kids, you have like you get a tax incentive for that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're married and you have a kid, because the right now the establishment is pushing the traditional household back into America, which I like. They destroyed the nuclear family for a while, and now they're kind of promoting the nuclear family. So now you get tax rewards for the nuclear family, and then with on top of that, when you're married and you have a kid, those small little tax write-offs for certain items go up a little bit, you know what I mean? And not it's not a crazy discrepancy for versus like single mothers, but it's easier to get, like they're making it easier to get those resources being married. And that's just what's happening right now with it actually started coming into effect the first time Trump was in office, but Biden kind of ripped everything he Trump did apart as soon as he got in office. So kind of having to go back and do it again. But like even if you don't like the guy, his presence can still be something you can capitalize off of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And don't be emotional, right? There's no matter if you don't like him or you do like him or whatever, there's still money to be made out there. So,
Always
if
money to
you're,
be
if you're gonna
made.
be emotional about it and getting your feelings like, oh, and not take the free money that he's gonna be able to give you, I mean, if you don't want it, take the free money and send it to my cash app. I'll take it.
You feel
I ain't
me?
emotional about it. I ain't emotional about it. You don't want it, shoot. I know somebody that I can use it. I can use the extra tax incentive. I ain't got no kids, but I could definitely, you know what I'm saying? But
All right, so moving on to some more personalized stuff. Since we kicking it with Kim, you dig what I'm saying? We want to dig into some what Kim got going on in his brain. Could you share some kind of like setbacks that kind of led to bounce backs, like anything that in that realm that's kind of
yeah,
taught you how to move forward?
yeah. Well, if you follow me on Instagram, which Kim the Motion, KEM the Motion, right? I just posted a video about detaching yourself emotionally from your goals, right? And too many times, and I see it all the time. And I'm going to use New Year's as an example, right? So New Year's, everybody gets super hyped, like, oh, New Year, new me. I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to whatever, whatever. And it's all attached to that feeling that they get to, like, when it's New Year's, like everybody gets happy. It's a new me, right?
Yeah.
But then what about when that feeling fades away? How are you still in the gym every day? Like 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in? And that's
Nah,
because
they don't
they're
be.
not, that's because it's attached to emotion, right?
Yeah.
That feeling, that goal is attached to how you felt. So what you can do and how you can easily hit goals and stay consistent is to take the emotional part out of it. No matter how you feel, either you're happy, even if you're happy, sad, whatever you want to, whatever feeling you are, you know that I have a goal I want to hit, right? So even if somebody says something to me, a coworker made me upset, that's not going to stop me from trying to achieve my goal, because my goal is not attached to the emotions and not attached to how I feel, but it's attached to an outcome. If I do this, this, and this, I'll achieve this goal. Not if I feel happy, I'm going to go achieve my goal. Or people like when their girlfriend breaks up with them, they feel sad. Now they want to go to the gym, right? But what about when you get a girlfriend? You stop going to the gym now because now you're happy. You got a girl. So that's something
Yes.
I think people can take a big take big from is, your goal should not be attached to how you feel emotionally, but it should be attached to actual, like, straight facts, right? You know, one thing I'm big on is I pay tithes, right? 10%, right? And emotionally, bro, 10%, that hurts some, emotionally is like,
Yeah.
it's like, do I want to, like, do I really feel like giving 10%, right? Sometimes I don't feel like giving 10%. I'm gonna just be honest with you, right?
It'd be like
But
that.
it's not an emotional thing. Now it's just I'm giving 10%. There's no emotion. I don't feel a way when I get that 10%. I just give it. I don't feel like, ah, I'm losing
Yeah,
10%.
it's
No, it's
gone. It's
just
gone. Cause
it's
you've
gone.
already kind of like coped in your mind, like it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's that. I'm getting that done, and that's done. You know what I
and you
mean?
can't do nothing about it, right?
Right.
And you take the emotion out of it. So now when you do it,
You don't even give yourself the option to like take it like that anymore.
yeah,
And I feel like that's one of the biggest. I think that's the biggest draw out from what you were just saying is you got to not allow yourself to have emotions with your goals. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And really a matter of discipline at that level.
yeah, literally. But that's what I had in my brain this whole year. That's one thing I'm big on is taking the emotion out of it because emotions change drastically every day. You know,
Yeah.
so if you're gonna follow the emotions, you're gonna be riding this wave instead of riding this way. You want to stay consistent. So the
Hmm.
easy way to stay consistent is take the emotions away. Um, but I know one thing we want to touch on here was how like small businesses can take advantage of the new economy and the new opportunities. And I know you had some really key things that you had, mentioned and stuff that, a business can do and what they can do. Like, oh, you said taxes, but that's more for like a personal standpoint. But on the business standpoint, what are some of those things that a business owner now can do that they can benefit from?
Well, see, so when Kamala was running and she was talking about giving like businesses all these extra like small businesses all these extra tax incentives and whatnot. It was so funny to me because like there's already like a really big amount of small business tax incentives that a lot of entrepreneurs just starting off have no idea about. So like it became such a big topic, but it's like there's already been a whole bunch of incentives. If you were to start a small business in 2021 and you spent $9,000 on equipment, you could have written all of that off. So on straight equipment, you could have written all of it off. And that was back in 2021. That got established in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like starting a business and using your like you one thing you can do is use your personal credit to get better business credit. A lot of people don't know that they can do
Ooh,
that. But
ooh. Don't get me started on that credit. Oh, that's a game. And one thing I would say, you could also, right? Say you have an LLC, right? Say you got a credit card that has a high balance on it or whatever, and you're not paying it off or whatever happens. Life happens. If your LLC has usually about a year of being made, you can take your personal credit, get a business credit card in your LLC, and you can transfer the balance from your personal credit to your business credit, which will boost your personal credit score up.
exactly,
Also,
and allow you to actually fix your business credit.
and then it's gonna boost your
Now
business
we
credit up
giving
because
them
now you got
strategies.
they're not ready. They're not ready.
They're not
They're not
ready
ready
for
for
the
that. They're not
strategy.
ready for
They're
that.
not ready for the
They're
strategy.
ready for that one. Well, I'll just say if you really want to do that, people I mean, you can I'm not gonna get into that because we go all day
Listen. Okay, so I want to give y'all a tidbit of advice that I actually learned recently. Well, I heard it recently. I've kind of, I guess, known it for a while, but not. I've never articulated it myself. It was first articulated, as far as I know, by Elon Musk. But he said and this is Elon Musk, richest guy on the planet, rocket ship guy. You know what I mean? He's pretty
yeah.
smart. You know what I mean? I gotta imagine he's pretty smart.
Oh yeah.
And he said that the best measure of intelligence would probably be the ability to predict the future. And I mean, like when I first heard that, I'm like, oh wait, I'm a market speculator. I'll be right most of the time when I be talking about the future. Oh, I must be a little smart. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I will encourage each and every one of you to do is try to get better. Whether it doesn't have to be financial markets or specifically like indices and forex and stuff like that. If you're able to predict the mood swings of society, then you're able to move through it better. And that comes from just paying attention. That
Yeah.
comes from subscribing to channels like TDB Network or
Yeah.
PVD Podcast, Valuetainment. being in the know with what's going on all the time. And
Oh yeah.
you don't always have to be like watching a podcast or always watching. Just set up some alerts, set up some headline alerts so you just know what's happening when things are happening.
Oh yeah.
Turn on post notifications for the if you're taking in content from a specific source, even if it's not us, turn on their post notifications so you can make sure that you get the information in a timely manner. And it's those little things moving through life that make it easier to be in the know, make it easier not to get left behind when trends
Mhm.
are happening and things are
Yeah.
going on. Not just knowing about the most popular dance on TikTok. If
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you know what the most popular dance on TikTok is, if you don't know what the current interest rate is. You know
Oh
what
no.
I mean?
You got somebody feelings hurt, right?
So
But
I
no,
know
I mean,
somebody was just like somebody felt that. Somebody felt that.
nah, but I mean that's huge though, because if you can know what's going on and where the market's going, you can also know where you should be putting your focus into, right?
Right.
So I'm in sales, right? I sell business to business, right? 2024, during the presidency, when they're switching presidents, a lot of businesses do not want to spend money because they don't know who's going to win and know what's going to happen due to like laws and tariffs and things of that nature, right? So
Right.
during that whole year of 2024, a lot of businesses weren't trying to spend money because they didn't know what was going to happen in 2025 due to the presidency, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when the presidency happened and the person that won, right, and they know he's more of a business minded person, like it or not, he's a business minded person, then they knew, well, he's probably going to have our best interests at heart because he's
Most
already
likely.
a business minded person. So now we can spend more money. So guess what I'm doing? I'm hitting up everybody. I know even if they're not seeing it right now, right? They might not see it coming into their bank accounts, right? They might not see the orders coming in, but I'm telling them, like, hey, you know who just won presidency, right? You know what's going to happen, right? I'm already
Mm-hmm.
seeing it in the market that people are getting more orders because people are spending more money because they know who is now in charge and what he believes in and what his kind of like top initiatives are. So
Yeah.
just knowing what's going to happen and following that market can also help you to be able to put your money and put your time and effort into the right thing that can help you benefit and catapult yourself.
Indeed, indeed. And if people take a like if you take a look at like the markets, if you, even if you just and actually before I get into that, only trust Bloomberg News 100% at face value. Everything else, I say do some more research behind. But Bloomberg News is the only place that I would tell you that everything they say is most likely 100% transparent without any type of bias or rhetoric going into it. And it's just a source for what's going on, not just here but around the entire world, because like we're the hub of the world. So like knowing what's going on in not just America but the entire world kind of helps you in a general sense, guide you through your life and decisions. Like if you know that like there's an oil crisis on the other side of the world, well you might go ahead and fill up your tank before your neighbor. You know what I mean? And it's those little things that are getting ahead, pushing you ahead, pushing you
Yeah.
above the curve. I,
Yep.
I'd like for I'd hope that Nasdaq stays more stable than Trump's last presidency, and I think it will. Just due to you know everybody being a lot more certain of the things that he's going to do and how he's going to act. The first time around, everything was way more volatile because he was just kind of a firecracker. It was his first time. He didn't really know what he's doing. He was not a politician. Now everything's kind of more streamlined and like business as usual, and that's going to be amazing for the S&P 500, Nasdaq. It's going to be amazing for business in America, and that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing that like it's kind of why we started the show. It's like it's such a heavy wave going on right now. You can't help but take part in it in some way, shape,
Oh
or
yeah.
fashion. So we're screaming to y'all not to get left behind, not to get left
Don't.
behind, not to get
One
left
thing I
behind.
want to say too, when people would say, right, the last 4 years or last year, the economy was at a low, everybody was broke, nobody had no money. That's when you want to really push in and start investing. When things are low, right? they gotta get back high. So if you
They
can buy
do.
things when they're down here, when they shoot up, you're gonna make so
Exactly. And that's why
this
y'all
is
need
the
to invest in yourselves.
bro,
Invest in yourselves. If you're
this is the
low,
time
invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself.
because when
Learn
it takes
something.
off,
Buy a course. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a skill set that allows you to provide value to another person, then right now is the time to lock it
yeah.
in, because after 2035, like, social security is gonna be out, like, and I feel like we're right now we're shaving off a recession. We're like barely holding a recession off. Like, we just built a wooden path in front of us, but there's still a gorge, you know what I mean, to fall off of. And that gorge is deep, and it's going to be really hard for the poor to pull themselves out of it once they get down there. And like, right now is the time more than any other time to become an entrepreneur, to really financially free yourself from you know living paycheck to paycheck. Like, because if you
Mhm.
don't stop, if you're living paycheck to paycheck in the next 4 years, then you're probably going to be living paycheck to paycheck for the next 40.
Yep. And I want to hit on something, right? You said right now is the best time to become an entrepreneur, right? And one thing that has been really big in the US and all over the world is startup companies, right? People are starting up these companies, tech companies, whatever you want it to be. And I know this something you want to hit on was how these tech companies, right? These bigger companies, right? They were laying off 2024 because they weren't making a lot of money. So they had to lay off a lot of their workforce. And when they laid them off, a lot of these entrepreneurs were scooping up the maintenance techs, the engineers, the quality, this and that, the people, the CEOs and the COOs and all these people, scooping them up and bringing them on their wings and starting a company and bringing these people that were laid off, right? And one thing I know you want to hit on, and one thing I want to hit on is, right, you don't always have to join the big company. You don't have to always join Ford. You don't have to join the Procter
Right.
Gambles and the bigger companies of the world. If you can find a good startup company and you can bring value to that startup company and you can get stake in that company and you can help to grow that company and then you can help to sell that company,
Roadmap. A roadmap
you'll
right
make
there.
that's a very easy way to become very rich. People start to get these startup companies, right? And they just help the company grow, help the company sell, and then they get a very nice $1 million plus payout when that company sells for 200 mil to then a Procter Gamble.
Right.
And
See,
you're
I,
not
I ain't gonna lie. One of TDB's plans moving forward, we're actually building. We're building a new social media site. It's basically going to be Twitter for tech guys. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I'm still a little on the fence about it now. I might keep it for a little while, but the
Mhm.
initial goal, and when I came up, built the idea, and went and got filed the LLC and everything, was that I wanted to build this so I can sell it, so I can fund the rest of my business. Literally, I want to build it so somebody else can take it to its heights. Now, granted, it might be like a secret Facebook investor or somebody that just buys it up under me, just so I'm not taking up none of their market space. But that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
As long as you
It
get
doesn't
paid.
matter who does. But I mean, I might fall in love with it. But I have such a big conglomerate already kind of going on. Well, it's not a conglomerate yet, but it's a conglomerate of companies at the moment, um, shelled, and it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a we have a music label, we have a production company, and we have a finance company all running at one time. You know what I mean? Along with the TDB 360 and a few other ventures going on. So diving into a whole nother business lane isn't something that I really want to do per se. But I know I have the ability and the skill set to build a business quickly, and I know how the ways to go about getting the site built. I can go on Fiverr, pay a guy $500 to build the app exactly how I want it. You know what I mean? And I can take it from a business point on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's something each and every one of you can do. If you have an idea, for a new social media site, go get a job, save up $500, and pay somebody overseas to build it for you. It might be the one that changes the world. You
It
know what I mean?
might. You never know.
It might be
You
the one.
never know.
You,
And you
and
can make it the one if you push it hard enough and stay committed and really, commit to it. I mean, one thing I like to preach is, I think it's easy to be unsuccessful, but it's also hard to be unsuccessful because I feel like if you really just buckle down and put your whole soul into what you believe in and what you have, I don't think you can fail. I think if you lock in, now it may take 1 year, it may take 20 years, but if you can stay, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If you could stay locked in for something for 20 years straight, I don't think it doesn't fail. It,
yeah,
it, it
there's no
has,
way you're not. There's no way you're not running things somewhere,
yeah,
or you know what I'm saying. Like, and even if you're not running things, if you've done anything for 20 years, you can teach somebody else how to do it.
yeah,
That means you can ask ChatGPT, "How do I build a course for da 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 da?" You know what I'm saying? So the
yeah,
time that you've already spent, like you're watching this video, you've already spent time learning something. Well, structure it and
yeah,
teach it to somebody else
yeah.
at,
Like
at the very
my
simplest way.
Myron Golden. I don't know if you guys maybe heard of him. I would check him out. I like that guy a lot. He's a good guy, makes a lot of money. He basically said that he was in sales for 14 years before he made his first 100K year.
Mm,
14 years before he made his first
that's
100K in
wild.
sales. That's a long time. But now he's a multi millionaire. He's making 100 M's plus
Mm,
a year.
greasy.
So, it may some people might make their first 100K their first month. But if you stay committed, you don't fail, right? He could have quit after 10. He did it. He went 14 before you made your first 100K. How long can you stay locked in, right? He stayed locked in for 14 years. That's long, bro. 14
That's a
years.
long time.
That's a long time. To not make 100K, but now he's a multimillionaire. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So if you could stay locked in, you don't fail, right? You only learn and you grow and you grow and you grow and go. And eventually you're going to get there. Oh, but you got to stay locked in, though. You got to wait to
right.
find out.
And remember, Warren Buffett made the majority of his fortune after his 50th birthday. So, like, everybody, listen, we got time. We got time to be billionaires. I promise, we got a lot of time to be
We
billionaires.
got
The
time.
goal is to just stay locked in.
Stay
If you
locked
get
in.
locked in
Just
early, you won't have to be so locked in later. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It makes it easier. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. We got a 32-minute episode. We got a lot of definitely got a lot of value out of this one for y'all. And if you're watching the replays, and this is just one of the clips, make sure you hit like one of the corners because it's gonna pop up in the corner for you to click one of the other clips to get to so you can actually watch the whole thing. But if you actually enjoyed this and you got value out of this, make sure you hit that like button, hit the sub button, and the little bell icon so you get notified when we go live and when we drop videos. And if
yep.
you want to learn about all that trading and forex stuff we was talking about, hit
Make
that
money.
link in the description. Connect with us. We have free consultations so you can kind of get a gauge at what's going on before you just buy the course. But we do have a course that teaches you in a very comprehensive way without all the fluff and BS how to become a profitable trader. All right. I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one.